Well, good morning and happy Thursday. As Tim Pham calls it, Friday Eve. We are just a little bit closer to the weekend now, one more day away. I'm Regan Gallo. Tim is off today. And we kick off our morning with Jenny Power in studio. Jenny, you said it's a little less smoky and hazy out there than yesterday. What should we know as people are getting out the door?
Yeah, Regan, I mean, not smelling that strong smoky smell like what we were experiencing yesterday in Spokane. And on top of some of that improvement, we're also off to a bit of a cooler start. So a live look for you over Riverfront Park in downtown Spokane. Maybe if you wanted to take your dog for an earlier morning walk, you're trying to beat some of that heat. We're currently waking up to 57 degrees in the Spokane area with a light wind out of the south. So a more mild start to your Thursday. Across the region, as we take a look at some current temperatures, it's much cooler over in Coeur d'Alene. We're talking a current temperature of 52 degrees right now, 50 degrees in Moses Lake, and we're even talking mid to upper 40s down on the Palouse and all the way up north to Sandpoint, Idaho. So you might want a light jacket if you are headed out soon, or just to enjoy some of the cooler temperatures if you're not a fan of the high heat. Moving forward and taking a look at our air quality, we have been seeing moderate air quality conditions for much of eastern Washington and North Idaho. Where we're still seeing unhealthy areas are going to be up toward parts of the Okanagan Valley and near the Canadian border. Over the next 12 hours, plenty of sunshine, mostly clear conditions with temperatures that are going to be near normal by this afternoon. The one thing to note is that we are preparing for the risk of critical fire danger. What I'm tracking is our next system arriving for us on Saturday. No precipitation, unfortunately, expected out of this. Instead, the inland northwest will see very dry conditions plus wind gusts that could, for some areas, be near 40 to 45 miles per hour. The full timing of this and who's actually expected to see the strongest winds in my extended forecast. But now, if you are headed out the door, out on the morning commute to get to work, or maybe just take the kids to do something fun for the last little bits of summer, we are seeing mostly dry road conditions and things are moving smoothly. Traffic volumes have started to pick up, but overall, we're in good shape. This is what puts us into Liberty Lake, where you can see the sun is shining, skies are mostly clear, and no major collisions to report to you at this hour, which is why, as we take a look at your traffic maps, we have been in the green across the board with average drive times. Regan?
Jenny, thank you so much. Well, this morning we are tracking wildfires burning across the inland northwest. Level 3 evacuations have been expanded for the Sinlahican fire. It now includes the area along Van der Sheldon Road to Fish Lake. The fire has grown to more than 8,700 acres and is still 0% contained. The number of people fighting this fire is expected to double today. Right now, crews are working on protecting structures. And containment for the Kaiser Canyon fire has slowly been increasing on the Colville Reservation. This morning, the fire has burned more than 128,000 acres and is now 27% contained. This fire has been burning for about 2 weeks and is the largest in the state. Level 2 Be Ready and Level 3 Go Now evacuations are still in place for the area. Fire crews are working on protecting structures in this area. And also burning on the Colville Reservation is the Maudrite fire. So far, the fire has burned more than 11,000 acres and is 63% contained. Firefighters are continuing structure protection around homes. Level 1, 2, and 3 evacuation orders are still in effect for most of the area. And a community that once lost everything because of a wildfire is now giving back. The Chelan Church of the Nazarene has created a way for people to get help and give back. They have clothing, diapers, masks, first aid, and even cleanup supplies. The group started collecting supplies after the Chelan Hills fire. Now their operation has expanded to help people impacted by fires across Chelan and Okanagan counties. Some of the people keeping the donation center running are the same people who first arrived needing help.
We lost a trailer, 50 years of my family items in it, and this is what we walk away with. Souvenirs. A whole life destroyed for a piece of aluminum souvenir. But this will be on my mantle forever.
And that man you heard from there is Ron. He says he spends most of his time at the center, working from early morning until the evening. If you are interested in helping, you can visit the Chelan Church of Nazarene's website. And some sad news this morning. Cedar, the Spokane County Interstate Fair's mascot, the Highland cow, has passed away. Her passing was unexpected, and right now we do not know the cause. Cedar has been the fair's mascot since 2023. We do know her daughter Clover will carry on the legacy. And this morning we are learning a jogger and his dog were attacked by a bear at Henry's Lake State Park last week. That's just west of Yellowstone National Park. Idaho Fish and Game and Fremont County deputies are investigating the incident. Idaho Fish and Game says the man sustained injuries but was able to walk out on his own while the dog was not hurt. A sweep of the trail system was done and no bears were found, so no further actions were taken. Officials are saying this is a great reminder to stay safe in Bexar County. They recommend you keep your distance, stay alert, travel in groups, and carry bear spray. Well, this morning we are taking a closer look at the 2025 crime report released by the Idaho State Police. KREM 2's Christian Garza breaks down what the numbers reveal about crime across North Idaho.
Yeah, well, it's easy to remember the big stories, the crimes that lead the news, the ones that spark conversation. But what about the thousands of other reports that don't necessarily make the headlines? Well, when you look at them all together, they can tell a different story. And this behind me shows crime data from Idaho State Police from the last 5 years for the 10 North Idaho counties closest to us. So as you can see, since 2021, there was a little bit of an increase in crime here in 2022, but then slowly it has been decreasing by about 1,000 reports every year since.
In Idaho State Police's most recent crime report just sent out tonight, in 2025, crime across the state has decreased, not just in North Idaho. But let's take a look at some of the counties closest to us. Really, the ones I want to focus on are the ones that barely had any change compared to the year prior. That's Kootenai, Idaho, and Nez Perce counties. Kootenai County has seen a close to 6% decrease in crime compared to last year, but reports of crimes like homicide and assault have seen an increase in 711% respectively. To clarify, the 700% increase seen in Kootenai County comes from the fact that in 2024 there was 1 reported homicide, and that number jumped to 8 last year. Idaho and Nez Perce are also seeing single-digit to less than single-digit decreases, but are seeing an increase in drug offenses and arson reports. Out of the 10 North Idaho counties closest to us, ISP reports only 1 county increased in crime from the year prior. That's Lewis County, with offenses like destruction, larceny, and fraud either doubling or almost tripling in numbers. Not even an hour after the newest crime stats came from ISP, Idaho Governor Brad Little sent us a statement saying in part, "Idaho continues to be one of the safest places to live, work, and raise a family, and the latest crime report is another testament of our commitment to public safety." This progress does not happen by accident. It is the result of the dedication, professionalism, and sacrifice of Idaho's law enforcement officers, first responders, prosecutors, corrections workers, and community partners who work every day to protect our neighborhoods and keep Idahoans safe.
The Idaho State Police Crime Dashboard allows anyone to search crime trends by county and city. We posted a link to that dashboard on our website, krem.com, if you wanted to see how your community has changed over time as well. In studio, Christian Garza, KREM 2 News.
Okay, the fun doesn't stop yet. This morning we are getting a new Jimothy sighting. This video was shared with us from Hayden Haller. The beloved raccoon was spotted on the porch of his family's home last night in Seattle's Ballard neighborhood. As someone who used to live in Ballard after college graduation, I just love that Ballard has rallied around Jimothy. Jimothy became an internet sensation just over 2 weeks ago and has since enjoyed a Seattle City proclamation, which also happened in Ballard, and will have his own night at T-Mobile Park next week. That's on Wednesday. And you might remember the Eagle Rock apartment fire over the weekend in Spokane Valley. Well, sadly, we did learn that 5 pets were killed, but we want to introduce you to one of the animals that survived the fire. Everyone meet Smokes. This very adorable tiny kitten was saved from the fire by a firefighter from the Spokane Valley Fire Department, and they say Engine 5 returned to the scene to check out for hot spots. During their search, firefighter Noah Martinez heard a faint meow. The crew discovered the small kitten hiding in a closet of a lower level unit. The firefighters called scraps, but with no available resources at the time, they brought the kitten back to the station for the night. The fire department shared on Facebook, quote, "Amid the challenges of a large-scale fire, our crews continue to do what they do every day, and that's protecting life." Look at that, very cute. Happy for Smokes.